Welcome to the Toastmasters District 13 Spring Conference 2026. My name is Cosmos Emanuel. We are the co-chairs of this event, and we would like to invite to the lectern the Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Sharon Hanks.
Cosmas and Kathy, these two chairs have been amazing in getting us together. Everything was so beautiful. Thank you, and we'll talk some more and appreciate you some more. Can we get a one more appreciation? This is a homecoming, District 13 homecoming, honoring the past and embracing the future. But tonight, we're going to learn a little bit in a fun way from one of the amazing people who I have had the honor to be working with over the past few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, because it's a fun night, no formal introduction, I'd like you to help me welcome a past International Director of Toastmasters International, past International President, Director, well, he was a director too, but he was, the last role was past International President. I'm so honored to welcome him tonight, and without any formal introduction, Mr. Richard Peck, my mentor, our past president. Would you please welcome Richard?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You were probably about to make me probably don't mind. What a great time that has been just meeting someone. And I think that's the important part of Toastmasters, is that camaraderie. And as Sharon introduced me, and she introduced me as Pastor National Director, that's fine. Pastor National President, that's fine. You know, titles only mean responsibility. That's all a title means. Because once the title is over, the person still has to be. So I always put my title way at the end.
I'd like to press the button.
Because I need to be me. Regardless.
It should say, it should be green.
But what I was asking,
It should be green?
Yeah.
and I don't want to do a lecture.
If not, just give them, the other one.
One night. Right? Oh, come on. Gee, I thought you told me this was a fun district. Oh, you're in. There's something.
Come on, let's make it.
That was not. It was.
Oh, now we're reading. You see, I still didn't need it anyhow. Talk to you about, a little bit about, how Toastmasters impacts your life outside of Toastmasters. And I thought this was a very intriguing question when it was asked to me, because I never really thought of them being separate. And I mean that from the standpoint of, I think everything integrates so smoothly that you don't sit at your office or anything and go, well, that's a Toastmasters thing, and that's a Toastmasters thing. You don't know this thing. Maybe somebody's doing it, it's a Toastmasters thing. But that's okay. Anyone here married to a Toastmaster? Married to a Toastmaster? Okay. You remember those white slips of form for evaluations that you would get at the club meetings? Did you ever get one of those the next morning on the island when you went down from your spouse? Going,
He does.
this is what you said last night, this is how it made me feel, and this is what you could have done differently. She wasn't eating that time, I can tell. But it integrates so seamlessly into our lives, whether it's our corporate environment or our personal lives, that we don't really realize the difference that Toastmasters has made. And that's true in anything. we don't see the change in ourselves. Others see it. Right? I see something, we don't see it in ourselves, because we don't see the change in ourselves. But as I was thinking about the question, how has it changed my life outside of Toastmasters? I got to thinking about some of the tools we gain at Toastmasters. We don't go to work saying, oh, I'm going to be an evaluator today. Well, maybe you do. I'm going to come and sit with you because you sound like you're a lot of fun. But we take those evaluation skills and we become better listeners. Right? And we start thinking of things differently, how we interact differently, as opposed to just responding. And that's a skill that we learn, but we don't think about it, and then we don't realize we're doing it over time. We become much deeper listeners. We don't try to solve problems right away without understanding what's going on. I think we also learn to ask questions a little bit deeper. I was always told it's not the first question that you ask that's going to get you the answer, it's the follow-up questions that you ask that will get you the answer. The first question is just a toss away. There's a funny story that was told to me years ago when pathways first broke up. And an individual was complaining about pathways and says, I don't like pathways, I don't want to be on the computer, I'm not computer savvy, I'm not this and that. The question was, why don't you like it? Well, I just don't like being on the computer. It's I like the old manual. First question, that was the throwaway. Second question is, what do you do for a living? I'm a data analyst. Computer's not the problem. Right? So you ask those questions a little bit deeper. And then you think about, well, what else am I learning? Well, if I don't go to work saying I'm going to be a timer today, I know you do. Are you a first timer?
Yes.
Is that the blue tag first timer?
Yes.
Oh, well, because it's been so much fun to work with, so fun. Here's a fun Because you don't go to work saying, I'm going to be a timer today. But you go to work with one of your meetings a lot smoother, a lot tighter. And then guess what else happens? You get really aggravated when the meeting doesn't start on time and someone else is running, right? Doesn't end on time. Because now that's exactly you. But did you really think about that beforehand? Or was it something that you started to realize through the skills you were developing in Toastmasters? I was talking to a young group of individuals the other day about skills in Toastmasters and how they actually can be put on a resume without thinking about it, without lying. But in really identifying what it is. So, would you on your resume say, experience, timer? Would you? No. Would you on your resume say, time management experience? Time management. That's a skill. Learn from Toastmasters. Okay. Would you put on your resume, hey, Toastmaster experience? No. Would you put meeting management? Because as a Toastmaster today, isn't that your job, is meeting management? So you can see that there are things that we do in Toastmasters that, although we don't realize the impact that we're taking with us, they really do impact everything we do. And I'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow. I think it's in one of my presentations. Oh, it's my presentation on Sunday. So for those of you who won't be here Sunday, you'll get an advance copy. For those of you who will be here on Sunday, sorry, you're going to be bored. One of the things I learned was team building. And I think we learned that in Toastmasters when we started the club also. And we tried to build a team around us. And I say try because it doesn't always work. but we do try. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a professional licensed race car driver, so it's one of my hobbies. And I had to learn how to build a team through that experience. And it was through that experience that I was able to take those skills and relate them to other parts of my life, as well as what I took from Toastmasters. So being able to provide feedback, being able to empower people. I'm not going to give you all of it unless you want to come somewhere, I'm going to give you the rest of it. But we take those things and we use them in a way that nobody realizes we're doing it. We don't even realize we're doing it. And that, to me, is the most powerful thing about Toastmasters. Because I truly believe that we have the ability to change the world. And if I was to say, can you change the world? And you go, oh, it's 1.9 million people, 190 something countries, 16,000 religions. I can't change the world. That's not true. Change your view of the world. Change the world for one person. Because if you can change the world for one person, then that person can change the world for one person. What was the Fabergé shampoo back in the day? I told two friends and they told two friends.
Yes.
Right? Well, it's the same thing with what we do as Toastmasters. We take our skills, we help improve the lives of others, and then we go out and help improve the lives of others as well. But we hope they do. And if you look at it from that standpoint, if you take it's a pathways, it's an educational program out of it, and look at it from its basic intent, the ability to improve people's lives. Right? This is a tricky question. Why does nothing from Toastmasters? To change the lives of the young men that were coming back from war, be able to put them in society, give them the skills to work meetings and become corporate people. His intent wasn't to change the world. It wasn't. You would have no idea that we're in so many countries now with so many members and how many people have come and gone. That wasn't his intent. His intent was to make an impact at that time. Excuse me. And that's what we need to do. We need to focus on making an impact. Taking what we learn. Not just leaving it at the club level when you leave the club level. Take it into our community. Take it into our corporate. Anyone involved with the community? Couple people? Using your Toastmaster skills in the community? Absolutely, all the time, right? Allows you to open doors, allows you to be articulate when you talk to people. Get your message across. It's amazing when people find out that you're a Toastmaster and that you know how to speak, you know how to write. They come looking for you. Because they want to get some mentoring, some training. It also allows you to be able to help in platforms that are necessary to help. Because, let's be honest, not everyone knows how to communicate. Everyone knows how to speak. They do not necessarily know how to communicate. And that's one of the key skills that we learn, is how to communicate with people, how to get our message across. When you can do that, when you can share your story, when you can share your message, or help somebody share theirs, it changes everything around it. I think we also learn vulnerability. We learn vulnerability. And I will tell you that as a speaker, vulnerability is one of the toughest things to come to grips with. Because vulnerability by nature is weakness. And nobody wants to appear weak. Nobody wants to sound weak. No one wants to look weak. And we will take a story that we should be sharing and bottle it up and not share it. For a long time, and Jim might be probably one of the only ones in the room that knows this, In 2009, I was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. And the survivability rate was very, very low. But I never told that story to anybody because it didn't want to appear vulnerable. It didn't want to appear weak. They're frail and fragile. So I never told that story. I was speaking at a district conference and I was going to do a keynote about owning your past. So you don't let your past define you. You define your past, but you have to own it. And I was on that stage for the first time ever, I mentioned the issue of cancer. And I got off the stage, and as all good Toastmasters do, you clap and you shake hands. Okay. There was a gentleman who came up and put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Thank you," and then walked away. And I had no idea why he did that. But I found him later and asked him, "Why did you thank me?" And he told me it was because he was getting ready to go through the same thing. And now he had somebody he could relate to. A story of vulnerability that impacted somebody else. Each one of you has that story. You're leaving it at your club. You need to take those stories outside your club and share those with others. And give them the hope. Give them the insight. Give them the knowledge that you have. And I think once we start doing that, our organization will start to grow more. I think we're all tired of hearing, "Go ahead, the best kept secret." Because we're keeping it a secret. We're keeping it a secret. How often do you go out and talk about it? You'll talk. This table here, I'm going to have to break you off. Oh, that's right, you're the Pingers. Yeah, that's right, the Penn State Pingers. Well, why are we keeping it a secret? You willing to go talk to your friends about it and say, "Hey, I'm going to the Toastmasters meeting tonight?" The Pingers will, I know. This is a group that you can't control. Do not allow them to sit together the rest of the week and wonder them throughout the morning. You don't think I'm going to talk to my racing buddies and say, "Hey, I'm going to I can't go racing today, I'm going to go to a Toastmasters meeting." You don't think that's happening, do you? Not even a little bit. And most of us don't do that. We say, "We've got to go to a meeting tonight." You don't say we're going to a Toastmasters meeting, because then we have to explain why we're going to a Toastmasters. What's a Toastmaster? Why do you want to go to that? Are you getting paid for it? That was always a fun question that I got all the time. How much you get paid to be the president? But I don't look at the value of it from a money standpoint. I think sometimes you have to separate that aspect of it and say, what did I give that money can't buy? What did I give that money can't buy? And I'm going to tell you that I truly believe this one thing. And I don't believe a lot. But I do believe this, that the one thing in life that can never, ever be taken away from you. Never. Anything physical can be taken away from you, money can be taken away from you, anything you don't can be taken away from you. What? What you learn can never be taken away from you. And everything you do here that helps you gain knowledge, that allows you to share with others so they gain knowledge, can never be taken away. Ever. So I would encourage you to think about what you're really taking from the club to your life outside, or what you're leaving on the floor at your club that you should be taking outside. and the difference that it can make when you do that. Because I believe each and every one of you can take something and put it in someone else's hands, and then encourage them and mentor them and let them go. But if you're going to mentor, make sure you mentor. It's not just a title, hey, I'm a mentor. I mentored thousands of people around the world, I don't even know who they are. But they keep saying I'm mentoring. But make sure that you're mentoring, it's real mentoring, and if you're really helping out there. What I'd like to do, though, is because we want to have some fun tonight, maybe. I'm not changing my clothes, I have 2 more speaking engagements tonight. But I'd like to open up to any questions that you might have. And I'll do my best to answer. And this is a room full of Toastmasters. I don't expect them to be shy. And I know the pickers aren't going to be shy. So. You trying to think of something? All right. I'm going to come back here so you don't have to yell. You can well, that's what I told you. Hey, Paula, how you doing? I'm great. What's your question? What brought me to Toastmasters? Well, that's a really interesting story. Like many people, I knew nothing about Toastmasters. Didn't even know it existed. How many of you knew it existed before you went to your first meeting? Yeah. Okay, pingers, overachievers. Are we giving an overachievers award, Jimmy? Just give it to him right now. In 2006, which is when I joined Toastmasters. Before I joined Toastmasters, I went to a How to Become a Millionaire seminar. Everyone want to be a millionaire? I found out how to become a millionaire. Be the guy on the stage, so I could probably get back in the room, that person sitting in my seat. They got millions, I got a spot. Anyhow, the MC of that event was Les Brown. Anyone familiar with Les Brown? I got to talking with Les Brown after the event. We met in the hallway and carried on a conversation. And he asked me the following question. Have you ever thought about getting involved in public speaking? Yeah, right. Not even a little bit less, but thank you for asking. I was mid-career at that point. And let's be honest, the words public speaking, number one fear, that's right. So I said no. And he was a little disappointed. And he went on and married away. Anyone here worked at a gopher farm? No, cubicle farm there where the heads come up above the edge of the cubicle and then you go down during the course of the day, right? Those little cubicle farms, that's where I worked for AT&T for 30 years. After about 2 weeks, he said, "There's a guy doing more nights than this." So I called us up. And I said, "I don't know if you remember me." He said, "Absolutely, I remember your voice." Blah, blah, blah. What would you recommend for somebody who wanted to go to public speaking? First words out of his mouth. Join a Toastmasters club. I found a Toastmasters club not too far from my house, attended the first meeting, and joined the club. Now here's the odd part of joining this club. There was a guy in the back of the room who was all smiles. Strange. I mean, I know people smile when you give them money, but this was way over the top smiling. Come to find out, he was an area director. Now, you area directors know where this is going. He needed one more distinguished club to be a distinguished area. The club I was joining needed one more member to be a distinguished club. So with my section, you got a triple out of it. But that's how I did it with Toastmasters. I have it back. Get back here. Love the outfit.
Thank you. It's the 70s. That's when I was born.
Most people try not to remember the 70s.
I know, that's what I hear. That's what I'm going to say. My question here is, what do you think the leaders, the kids that we have today, what can we teach them, the younger generation, of becoming a leader and how do you get them involved in Toastmasters when there's so much involved with their phone?
Go online.
Good thing we put pathways online then, huh?
That's right, that's right.
So I think there's a generational issue, that's part of it. And then there's a way that we present it, that is another part of it. The generational issue is, unless you've got young members in your club, you are not going to get young members to join your club. 2 years ago, I was at a district conference, and they took me to a club meeting on Friday morning, and I walked in, and I swear the youngest person was 95. Except for me, I was younger than that. And I'm hearing them talk about, I've got to go for this medical procedure, and I'm on this prescription, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not bringing an 18-year-old into this club, it's not going to happen. Right? So I think you need to first find a way to bring younger people into the club, and we start that with youth leadership programs, right? Or gavel clubs, those type of items where we give them a taste for it. The other thing is we can't force anybody to do something if we're telling them, you need to do this. Right? Kids don't like two things. One, they don't like being told what they can't do. Right? Did you ever like being told you couldn't do something when you were growing up?
Right.
No. It was always, why? Right? Or you fought back. And then when you tell them they have to do something, they don't want to do that either. Right? So you have to change the approach. You have to do that across the platform, whether it's younger generation or more seasoned Toastmasters like myself. Because I don't need a district telling me, we need your club to be distinguished. We don't really care what you need. We don't. We want our members to achieve their goals. We will be distinguished when we do that. You'll get it then. Right? Yeah.
Amen.
Or you did if your club does this, please don't raise your hands. I don't know. We need you to give one more speech so that we can be a distinguished club. They don't care. They don't care. They want to achieve their goals for themselves as they need them. You can't force them to do it. Because once you start forcing them into it, they're going to start pushing back, and then you're going to have a hard time with that member. So here's what I recommend to VPEs. July 1st, sit down with every member. I don't really care how long they've been a member of your club. Ask them what the goal is for the year. Document what their goal is for the year. If they say, I want to give 5 speeches, I want to complete the level, you've got them. Because when they stop putting their names on the agenda, you go, I think you remember when we sat down and we talked about what your goals were this year. Well, we want to help you get your goals. You've got them. It's easier. You can't tell them you need to do this. So I think those are some of the approaches we need to do. I was just sitting at a town committee the other night, and they wanted to talk about social media. Everyone loves social media. Keyboard courage. And I said to the chair of the committee, I said, listen, if you want to set up social media, that's fine. But you need to have a multi-generational committee. Why? So I turned to a young lady in the room and I go, listen, tell me about what platforms you use for social media. Because I know what they're using. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We love Facebook because all you old people are on it. And then it was your committee is only on Facebook. Why do you think you're not getting other people to come? So think about who you're putting on committees, what that looks like. From a district level, you have a social media committee, put younger people on it. Make sure you're hitting the mark there. I don't ever want to hear out of District 13 or the new District 208, whatever it is, 218, 210. I've been on so many lately, I'm going to be so confused. Because we're going to go from 30, which is what I'm doing tomorrow, to 200 and something, nothing in between. you can no longer say, we're going to do it that way because we've always done it that way. Right? Where's the there? Yeah, we hear it. But guess what? You're in the district. Never been done that way before. Start over, build the foundation. Start changing some of the philosophies. And I know change is hard. I'm going to talk about change a little bit tomorrow. Change is hard. We hate change because of certain things behind it. But we're more willing to accept internal change than external change. Internal change because we realize it needs to be done. External change because somebody's forcing it on us. And we don't like that. So those are some of the things I would think about as I'm trying to develop. Where's the gap? How do we fill it? We're going to do a session tomorrow afternoon on strategic planning. I don't know, oh boy, strategic planning. I'm trying to it'll be fun. Maybe. But we're going to do that, and for those of you who are in leadership roles coming up, by the end of the day, by the end of that 1 hour session, you'll have a whole plan for your year, as long as you participate. You'll have it all mapped out, so your district, your areas, your clubs, you yourself will be successful. Anyone else? Hi, Stephanie.
Oh, thanks.
How can we help corporations? We have many corporate clubs in our district. How can we help the leaders of corporations to see or to ensure that they get an return on their investment in the Toastmasters Summit?
I have to give you a little direction on microphones. Never give a microphone to a Toastmaster. And never give it time. So how do we make sure corporations are getting return on their investment? First question I ask is, does the corporation know what they're investing in? Do they know what they're investing in? They have a club, do they know what the club is? Is anyone from the corporation involved in it? Because if they're not, you don't know what they're getting or not getting. And I used to always caution districts about the amount of money you would let a corporation pay towards a club. See, I would let them pay the charter fee. I have no problem with letting them pay a charter fee. Absolutely 100% disagree with them paying for members. 100% disagree with that. Because you haven't invested anything in yourself. Because you're not willing to give money. Now, the alternative to that is, I would encourage corporations to think about doing it as an educational program with a reimbursement, right? So, if you attend X number of meetings, you give X number of speeches, they're documented, you can get 100% of your membership fee reimbursed. Okay? Then now, if they're putting money into it, they can see if they're getting a return. If they're not getting somebody putting time into it, they don't have to put any money back. And I always encourage people to think about, why would I invest in you if you're not going to be willing to invest in yourself? Corporations have to do the same thing. The problem is, you have to have somebody in a corporation who truly believes in what we're doing and is willing to support it. Because nobody wants to leave their desk for an hour to attend a meeting for fear that they'll come back and somebody else will be sitting at their desk. Because they don't have support of the corporation. So those are some things you have to think about. And you have to sell them on how their employees are going to grow, not necessarily how the corporation is going to grow because they have a club, but how their employees are going to grow. Then that becomes a risk. Because you're going to say my employees are going to get these skills, I've invested in them, and then they're going to go on to another job. So there's a little bit of a balance that you have to play with. But that's the way I would do it. But I would never, when I was working with club growth directors now, I would never let a corporation pay for the members. I let them pay the charter fee. That's it. Anyone else?
Kind of a dual question. The
You have a dual question?
A dual question.
We only allow one.
So,
Choose the one you want.
so the way I'm going to phrase it is we go to well a lot
Mm-hmm.
with both club officers and volunteers.
Yeah.
How can we incentivize or motivate to get new blood? Because we go to that well and the same 20 people volunteer and they burn the candle at both stakes and then they burn out and we don't see them.
You're right about that.
So what kind of insights or strategy would you suggest?
All right, now show hands, how many have done multiple roles year after year after year? Everybody, right? A majority of you have done that. How many of you have taken the time to take somebody under your wing and show them the ropes and what you do? A lot less hands than went up originally. A lot less hands than went up originally.
You're to find somebody that wants to do that.
Ah.
I've been asking all year for someone to come and
So-
sign up and learn about rope for Vice President of Education.
So don't
I
ask.
can't get anybody.
Don't ask it that way.
All right, Kathy. No.
See,
I'm just called secretary. I don't know what you're talking about.
we tend to look for people with skill, right? I tend to look for people with passion. See, I can train skill. I can't train passion. So if I can identify somebody who's passionate about it, somebody who needs, hey, I love what I do with my Toastmasters club. I wish we had more like that. Oh, bingo, ding, 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 ding. That word right there, I wish we had more, just put you on my list as somebody I want to talk to. And then when you go talk to them, you say, you're passionate about it. I think you'd be good in this role. And they're going to go, but I don't have the skill. Okay, that's fine. But we can give you the skills necessary, and you'll never fail. Because we won't let you fail. Right? So we have to try to take the focus on necessarily office skills and not ask people if they'd be interested. Change it. I think you'd be good at this. Because, and then fill the blank. Because they're not seeing it. They're really not. Because they think they can only reach so far. Right? Everyone thinks they can reach so far, and that's as far as their skill set goes. Yes. Yeah, don't do that. Yes, it's true. Ms. Humphries. And I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. I can prove it to each and every one of you that you are limited only by what you believe at the moment. Okay? I can prove it to you. And I'm going to do it because I only have a few minutes left. Everyone who wants to stand up, can't stand up, please stand up. You have no choice. You brought this on. All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach as high as you can. Everyone reach up as high as you can. Always one. All right, put your arms down. Put your arms down. Shake them out. Yeah, second one. OSHA there. Copycat. Saw that. For those of you who weren't standing on the chairs, Jake, please don't do that. All right, when everyone to reach up again, except for those who were standing on the chair, and reach a little bit higher this time. Just reach a little higher. Okay? Got a little higher? So you on your tippy toes? Okay, put your hands out here. Do you know I can do this all day long? And every, I won't, I promise. And every time I do it, you're going to find a way to reach a little bit higher. Why? Because I encouraged you to. The first time I asked you to do it, you stopped yourself. I didn't stop you the rest of the time. Neither did you. You sit down. And that's what we need to do. We need to show people that they can do more than they think they can. And that little exercise, that's fine. That just shows you can reach a little farther. So people can be more than they think they can be. But, man, if I talk too much more, I'm going to be giving away stuff that I might be talking about tomorrow. I don't want to do that. But there's a reason people will stop themselves from being what they can't be. And there's a lot behind it. Experience, what they've been told, how they view failure. Right? Failure. Nobody fails. Nobody fails. You got to change your mindset. You weren't as successful as you wanted to be. That's not failure. Failure would be if you didn't do anything. Okay? Those coins I gave out a couple core value coins. If you were to take that core value coin, on one side and put opportunity, on the other side and put challenges, which is on the same side of the coin, opportunity and challenge, where do you want to focus your time? Opportunity or challenge? Opportunity. If you look at opportunities, guess what you've never seen? The challenge. And that's the key. If you focus on the challenge, guess what you see? Challenge. Guess what you don't see? Opportunity. Change our mindset, change our focus, change what we believe, everything shifts. Just a mindset. But we are so set sometimes in our ways, so set in our beliefs, so set in what we've been told, what we've been led to believe, that glass box around us never lets us out. Never. So just a few simple things you can change, you can shift that all around. I got time for one more question. Anybody? All right. Well, the bigger got one.
Yes. What's your favorite thing about Toastmasters?
My favorite thing about Toastmasters is watching people achieve more than they think they can achieve. All right. You've had a member come into the club, a guest come into the club. Right? What do we do for them? We give them table topics. They're already nervous anyhow. We give them the one thing that all of us put down, our heads down to the ground when the table topic comes up. They get up to the lectern and they're screaming, squeezing on, swaying back and forth. The vice president of membership's going, oh, there, we lost another one. Yeah, you clap. They don't have to say anything. They can stand there for 30 seconds. And you're going to clap because you get Toastmasters. And they come back to the next meeting. And they try it again. And then they become a member. And then they start giving speeches. And then the next thing you know, they want to compete in contests. And then they want to step into leadership. From a person who held the lectern like this. Doesn't that feel good when you see that happen? When you see somebody become something they didn't know they could become?
Right.
Just because of a little bit of encouragement? A simple clap? That's already a simple clap. The power of that. Right? And you didn't call the person out by name, you didn't embarrass them, but everyone supported them. That may be the only time that person ever got support by more than one person. Okay? That's what keeps bringing me back to seeing those people achieve those things more than anything they can be. It's been a pleasure talking with you today. I am here all weekend. I got a couple sessions tomorrow and one on Sunday morning. I don't run on time. I was much better. My name is Richard. You come up to me. Just call me Richard. That's the name of my memoir that I'm putting together, is just call me Richard, so that you don't have to worry about titles. I'm very approachable, even though people go, and ask me anything. Ask me anything. Nothing is soft. You can't ask me anything. Nothing is off table. You want to talk about Toastmasters? You want to talk about things outside Toastmasters? Let's just have a conversation. We're all just people. All right? I promise to give one away. How many like us do we have? All right, I'm giving away 2 books. There's no such thing as a first loser. Everybody wins. You guys get one. All right, Sharon, I'm turning it back to you. My favorite quote, and put on leadership. So it's a quote, and I probably will butcher it, because I haven't repeated it in a while, but it's a quote that goes, I'm only one, but I am one. And because I only one, I will not, I'll have to get it. But what it's essentially saying is, just because you're one person, doesn't mean you can't make impact change. So I haven't given that one in a while, I haven't thought about that one in a while. Of course, my favorite quote is my favorite quote.
Well, I was about to ask that one. Your favorite quote on leadership?
My favorite quote on leadership is my quote, and it's that leadership is not about being the center of attention. Leadership is about being the epicenter of action. You don't need to be in a spotlight. I don't need to be in a spotlight. We just need to make things happen.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's not about being the center of attention, it's being the epicenter of action. When I read that as his quote, something about it resonated so strongly with me that I live it now. Something else, Richard Peck will be leaving us shortly because he has another meeting, two business meetings tonight with other districts. But we first, can we appreciate him one more time, because I know we're about to go into funding. Thank you. I couldn't write fast enough. I asked Steve, are we recording this? Because it's like I'm not writing fast enough. With that said, I'd like to invite our co-chairs back up here, because I know that we're about to go to break and come back for a fun night, but they know the details, so let's welcome Cosmas Wakanda and Kathy Cullers.
Sorry, thank you. Let's turn the page. As we take a little break, we want to encourage you to go ahead and mix a little bit more, meet a couple more people you haven't met yet, and we're going to set up our next two things. Before then, we have some music and dancing and maybe some costume prizes and some fun. So take a little break and we'll be back in a few minutes.